Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. It's Friday, the weekend is upon us, and I've just got one question to ask Blizzard. Blizz, where are the Alliance rares? Oh, Alright. So let's try and unravel the mystery, shall we, today, people, of what has happened to the vanishing Alliance rares in Arathi Highlands. So let's go through the story from the beginning, because that's where all good stories start. When Warfronts released a couple of weeks back, the Alliance were in control of Arathi Highlands, and what that meant is they had the option to do 6 quests that were all identical. And they also had access to a world boss. They also had 26, 27, 28 odd rare creatures in this zone as well. The Horde, who are currently building up their resources to be able to unlock the Warfront to attack the gorgeous Stromgarde Keep, they could also see all of the rares in the zone, but obviously didn't have access to the world boss because that was faction orientated. So, because the Horde were actually the ones who were building up and didn't control the zone, they were flagged PvP. The Alliance didn't have to be if they didn't want to be. So if you were rare farming as an Alliance and some Hordes came along, there they would be, flagged as I am now, and should you wish, you could flick on that PvP and engage them in combat. It was your choice to do that. But during that first cycle, everybody killed the rares and they had the option to get gear, toys, pets, and rather juicily, some mounts as well. Yum, yum, yum. And so, the regular reset happened, where dungeons reset and raids reset, and we all came rushing back to Arathi Highlands to do it again, bearing in mind that world content, outside world content, is pretty damn sparse. And so, any sort of farming that we could get ourselves some mounts or anything like that would be rather cool. But when we got here, none of the gold stars appeared. They all were showing as golden dragons, which means they've been killed once as a rare and they're no longer lootable as a rare. And then the Horde had the same thing. And so we put out some forum posts. Hey Blizz, why haven't the rares reset after the regular reset? And Blizzard were quick to respond. They said the rares in Arathi only reset once a Warfront cycle. So when the Horde have completed their Warfront and taken control of the zone, then the rares will respawn back. Okay, not the greatest of news that we wanted to hear, but we got an explanation and we understood why we couldn't see the rares. So the Horde filled up their bar, the Horde then had 7 days worth of Warfront, and after that was over, it flipped, and now the Horde are in control of Arathi Highlands, as they are currently. And the Alliance, eek, we are now on the defensive, and we're trying to build up our resources to open up the Warfront, which we've just done. Now we're on the offensive. So we have 7 days now of attacking the Horde base before we take it over, and a 3rd cycle starts in the Warfronts. But I've gone a little bit ahead of myself. You see, when the Horde took over the zone, I came back here immediately with my Horde characters because I'd been playing them a lot more than my Alliance because they had access to the Warfront, which meant more content, which meant more gear because it was just spewing it out left, right, centre. My Alliance characters sadly sat on their thumbs a little bit, twiddling them. And when I came back with my Horde characters, the rares were there, the world boss was there, so I killed 26 rares, I killed the world boss, and I, saw whether or not I got some gear, whether or not I got some toys, which I did, a couple more pets, which I did, no mounts, sadly, boo hiss. And so I was like, right, Now let's switch over to my Alliance characters and do it on them. And so I come onto my Alliance character and come into Arathi Highlands and no gold stars. No gold stars anywhere. So we're flying around and we see that the rares that we should be able to kill are walking. And we're like, why are they showing as gold stars and not silver stars? Why are they showing like this? And so we take to the forums and we take to Twitter. And we're like, hey, Blizz, it's a new Warfront cycle. The rares are meant to reset, but they've only reset for the Horde and they haven't reset for the Alliance. Nothing from Blizz. Nothing at all. No noise, no responses, nothing whatsoever. And so that leads people, when there's lack of communication, to speculate. So people started to speculate that, well, maybe it was a bug when the Horde were able to kill the rares as they were building up to unlock their Warfront. And what Blizzard have done is correct that. And so when the Alliance unlock their Warfront, that is when the rares will spawn. Now, that's not a far-fetched idea, because, after all, when Warfronts unlocked for the Horde, they had 3 whole days of being able to do them without any item level restrictions whatsoever. And so main characters, alt characters were just getting thrown in there as soon as they hit level 120 and were coming out with all kinds of gear. So although, again, it wasn't the best thing that we wanted to hear, it was a possibility. But without Blizzard responding to this, we just simply weren't to know. And so last night, as we catch back up, the Alliance unlock their Warfront. And we can now do the Warfront for 7 days as we assault the Horde base. So after I participated in the Warfront, after I've got my 370 piece of gear and 340 piece of gear for doing so, I come here to Arathi Highlands thinking, at last, the rares would have respawned for this cycle for the Alliance. Premature. I get here, and the rares are still showing us gold stars. There is absolutely no reason now why they should. This is a second cycle. The Horde have been able to do it on the Alliance cycle, and they've been able to do it on their cycle, but the Alliance have only been able to do it on their cycle and not the Horde cycle. Blizzard are still keeping stum. But what is more interesting is Alliance characters that have leveled up during this Horde occupation have said, well, when I go to Arathi Highlands, they do show up as rares for us. And they have been able to actually kill them. So it looks like the Alliance absolutely should be able to attack the rares during this cycle, as Blizz themselves have said. But Blizz have remained silent. They haven't responded to this at all. They haven't responded to the forums. They haven't responded to Twitter. And there are a lot of Alliance characters out there that have been locked out of the rares this Warfront cycle, which means the Horde have a distinct advantage. They've been able to loot the rares twice in 2 cycles, which means 26 more attempts to get gear, which means 26 more attempts to get toys and pets and mounts. And it's really the mounts that I'm after. That's what I really would like to do, is just do that. But it is a distinct advantage. So, who knows? Who knows what has happened to the vanishing Alliance rares in Arathi Highlands? We don't know. Blizzard aren't talking. And so I guess we're just going to have to wait another 7 days until it switches back to the Alliance control. And then maybe, because we're not sure, the Alliance will actually be able to do it again, while the Horde rub their hands together as they claim another victory in battle for Azeroth. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links down in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.